common question I get is, how did I get into yoga? So, I'll answer that in this video. It started probably well before I was conscious that the seeds were being planted. When I was just a little boy and my mom and I were watching things like Star Wars. And in there they talk about the Force, they talk about energy, and they talk about the Jedi being peacekeepers of the galaxy. And this is what started to get me thinking about things about feeling and sensitivity, and I wanted to be able to move things with my hands like the Jedi could without touching it. And they talked that the Force is this energy field that connects everything in the whole galaxy together. It's where the Jedi get their power from. And it comes from an idea in yoga, but I didn't know that just yet. So when I was 7 years old, and my mom decided to start yoga, kind of more or less against her will. She was having trouble with depression and anxiety, and the doctor recommended her yoga. And she said, no, not gonna happen, like no way. And she decided, the doctor convinced her by telling her, why don't you try some home DVDs? And so she used home DVDs, and then eventually she got into a yoga habit of doing it at home. And I'm little 7-year-old Timerlane down here, and I got interested in this stuff. She told me it's about what's going on inside and feeling and connecting, and it's not about how you look. And I was like, this sounds pretty interesting. This will help my Jedi training. So I got in a habit. 7 years old, I started learning breathing and movement and focus and awareness and sensitivity and things like this, connecting with your thoughts and so on. And when I was 11, I go into grade 7, and my homeroom teacher at the time, he noticed two things. One, I was picking bad friends, apparently, I don't really remember. But I was picking people that were kind of the class clowns, and they were starting to get into drugs, and teachers concerned that that would happen to me. If I'm around lousy people, I'd become a lousy person, that kind of thing. And so the second thing he knew was that I could run really good, because he was also my gym teacher, gym and science. And so he signed me up against my will for track and field. Against my will, but with my mother's permission behind the scenes. And I fell in love with the sport after my first event. So I started to get serious, and as soon as I started to really get serious, I noticed this isn't just physical, this is also a mental game. And so the more I noticed this is mental, I turned toward yoga, what I knew about how to harness your mind, how to control your focus, how to make sure that you have your emotions mastered, so when you need to be completely present and have all your energy directed in one space, you have that right there. And because when I'd be on the starting line, you get ready to race and you're gonna go gone, and the crowd is cheering, the guy's gonna fire the gun to start, and everyone on the race wants to beat you, and your teachers are gonna ask you how you did, your friends, your family, the coaches have expectations, you have expectations. Eventually there's money and sponsorships and prizes and dreams and goals, and if you think like that, eventually that can either lift you up or it can bring you down. And that's how you gotta learn to harness fear and energy, because it is just energy. And with our minds we can do that. So that's what yoga started to teach me. About 5 years later, I'm continuing to refine my practice, and I get an opportunity with my mom she starts teaching yoga. 9 years after her initial Yoga for Dummies in her basement with the DVD, she decided to take a teacher training. Not to teach, but to learn more. And then after she did that, a studio opened up, and she got a job there. She thought, what the heck, I'll apply, and apparently not a lot of people applied. And so she got a spot. And her first gig, her first teaching position, was mother and daughter partner yoga. And so mother and daughter partner yoga meant that she wasn't able to teach the poses without a partner. So she asked my sister, Noelle's my sister, would you like to help me out? And my sister's like, hell no, not happening. My sister's a little bit younger than me at the time, I'm 16, and I said, pick me, and I'm excited. And so I started teaching mother-daughter yoga with Trudy. And then before I knew it, I'm like, I love this. This is something I really want to do. I'm passionate about this. Connecting with people, helping them live life to the fullest, creating a meaningful lifestyle for myself, having the freedom of expression and creativity and what I want to do, able to teach yoga anywhere in the world. It's starting to check off my boxes: meaningful contribution, creative, growth-oriented, love and connection-oriented, significant. And so I'm thinking, this is good stuff. So I start studying, and I took a course, and I got a job teaching yoga to kids. And so I taught 9 months there, then I applied at another place. I started teaching seniors yoga for gentle and restorative style yoga. It was a free healing yoga type class where anyone of all ages could come in, but it was mostly people above 50 who were trying to go very slow and get their body to move. They were very tight, maybe they were injured. Some people had damaged shoulder, hip, knee, back, hearts. Some people had MS or Parkinson's, and there was all sorts of, it was a very diverse group of people. 30 people would come in with all sorts of unique stories. So that was an incredible learning experience for a 17-year-old young, healthy man to be empathizing with other people's bodies that were so different, 50 years different sometimes. And the oldest lady in there, in that class, the oldest lady I've ever taught. So I'm teaching kids yoga, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm teaching these older people, where this lady was 82. And after about 8 weeks of coming to my class every week, she was crying at the end of the class. And I thought, oh shit, I hurt the old bag. I hurt her, and I was worried. And so she comes up to me, and she says, I'm just so happy I can finally sleep again. Like, I haven't been able to sleep for years. And now I just go home after your evening yoga and I sleep like a rock. And I'm so grateful. Thank you. And I was like, wow, it hit me. Like, instead of, my mom usually would come to drive me home from the yoga studio, but I decided to run home 4 kilometers in the nighttime when I'm running. I feel so high and good. And I was like, there's something deeply meaningful to me here with this. Mastering your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions, connectivity with life, building freedom from certain thought patterns, freedom to create, freedom to love, opening our hearts, opening our bodies. It was so versatile and so transformational. So it became a very large centerpiece. And then from there, I started teaching at the old folks home in town, at the seniors clinic, chair yoga. I taught to more kids, sport teams, basketball teams, hockey teams, soccer teams, volleyball teams, softball teams. And eventually I got into personal training and indoor cycling and boot camps and more mindset coaching. And it evolved into, like, I worked with athletes and I worked with businessmen, I worked in the government. I was working with the city of Leduc. I worked with random businesses throughout Edmonton at the time when I was living there. And so it started to explode. And I worked at the University of Alberta campus there, teaching classes and all sorts of things. And so that takes me to where I am today, where I've done a holistic yoga teacher training, kids yoga training, a small version, not a full version, meditation, yoga for athletes, gentle and restorative, yin yoga, and I'm just about to leave in 2.5 weeks, October 27th. I'll leave to India to go and study an advanced holistic teacher training with a teacher named Yog Rishi Vishvaketu. And Yog Rishi Vishvaketu teaches Akhanda Yoga. And Akhanda Yoga is this holistic type. And that's what I'm on my way now, where I'm working on integrating Eastern and Western healing practices with cutting-edge psychology and deep philosophy from rich society. One of the greatest civilizations of Earth, of our documented history, is the Indus Valley civilization out of northern India. And that's where yoga came from. And it's fascinating how much wisdom they can pack into this tradition of healing, of mind, of body, of spirit, of philosophy, of science. It's incredible. And so that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm working on applying it to athletes and business people and students and everyone that wants to be the best that they can possibly be, living authentic and heart conscious and full of light and passion, and being an inspiring example of what it means to be a human in the world, an inspiring example of the potential of the human heart, the human spirit, the human mind, and the body. And that's all for this video. Love to hear what you have to think. Love to hear about your passion. Love to hear what you think about what I shared. Thank you very much. Bye for now.